Hey guys, welcome to Francofille Knits. My name is Devin and this is where I document my knitting and other fiber related crafting. You can find me on Instagram and Ravelry at @BeatDevin. You can find my shop related Instagram at Cardinal Fiber Company. And yeah, you can find all my other relevant contact information down below. Just a quick video today. I want to talk about some new stuff that's coming to the shop, some stuff that I'm working on now, and the theme of today's video is all about heavier weight knitting. So I primarily use fingering weight yarn, right? The vast majority of projects that I make, I'm using fingering weight yarn, right? Socks, shawls, hats, gloves, like literally everything. The most recent sweater I finished was fingering weight. Like I'm a fingering weight knitter. That is my happy weight of yarn. But I don't know, I've been drawn to heavier weight yarns recently, especially DK weight yarns and bulky yarns, in part because I've added these two weights to my shop, but also, I don't know, I've been in the mood for thicker, quicker knits. And there's no denying that DK and bulky knit up far more quickly than fingering weight does. So starting with bulky, right? I actually knit this hat that I'm wearing as a shop sample sort of thing for trunk shows and vending opportunities, and my hair looks kind of silly now. But I literally knit this in an evening. As you can tell, it's real big, real slouchy, very cute. And this is in my new bulky base, right? Which is called my plump base. My bases I'm trying to name with very obvious names now. And then this is in the Embers colorway. Right, so you can see that it's a tonal gray with pops of gold and purple and all sorts of warm, happy colors, right? So this was one of my new colorways last fall. It's definitely coming with me from Francofille Knits over to Cardinal Fiber Company. And it's just a really great oversized beanie. I added a little bit of a knit pearl motif just to keep it interesting, just to show off the texture of the yarn. It is definitely nice and warm. I wore it on my morning walk with Ezra today. The weather is finally getting nice out, but at 6:37 in the morning, it's still in the 30s. So I'm gonna be wearing my sample for probably the next week or so at least. But yeah, like I said, it took me maybe 4 hours to knit this beanie up. No real pattern. Like I said, I modified it myself, but you can find, there are so many, quick beanie patterns and bulky weight yarns on Ravelry that are free. Start with any of those and then just modify, have fun. But yeah, talking about the base a little bit more, it is 100% superwash merino. It is giant. I've never carried bulky weight yarn before, so this is kind of a fun experiment for me. But so this is it here in my Sunset on the Seine colorway, right? Nice peach with various speckles. Right, love it. As you can tell, right, it is a very thick 2-ply. The plies are kind of loosely spun too, so it gives it sort of the feel of a single, but with a little bit more stability and strength, coming from the fact that it's a 2-ply. And it is so soft. Yeah, it's gorgeous. I love it. I'm really excited. If you follow, it's a little hard to twist and talk at the same time. Right, just twisted that up again real quick. If you follow the shop account on Instagram at Cardinal Fiber Company, you may have seen a couple days ago I had a poll up in my stories asking people to pick which colorway they wanted to see a sample knit up in this base. So y'all picked Embers and I couldn't be more excited about that. I love all my colorways, right? I love all my children. But I've never knit up Embers before and I've been wanting to for a while. So I'm excited I got the opportunity to. I really love this colorway. But yeah, so bulky base, I'm in love. It's amazing. It is so quick, and I've decided that that is going to be my go-to base for gift knits this year. I think I might start knitting Christmas gifts now, while A, I have the time, and B, it's getting warmer, so it's not necessarily intuitive to be knitting with a bulky yarn in the summer, but it's such a small project that it's not like knitting on a blanket or something like that where the project's going to be draped on you, right? It stays nice and contained. It's really quick. You can do it in an evening, and if I can crank out some Christmas gifts now, I'm pretty excited about that. So this base is available now. I'm adding new colorways in it all the time. I'm dyeing up some more of it today. So yeah, definitely check that out. My other new base that I am over the moon about is my new DK base, right? It is 100% superwash BFL, right? Which is definitely new, my first BFL. Right, here it is again on in Sunset on the Sun. All right, same colorway. See, they definitely dye up slightly differently just because of the different natures of the yarn. So it's taken me forever to come up with a DK weight base that ticks all the boxes for me, right? I think this is the 4th DK weight base that I've offered. Originally, I had 100% superwash merino. I've since switched suppliers for various reasons, and my current supplier, from them I tried a 100% non-superwash merino, which was beautiful, super, super soft, but because it was non-superwash, it wasn't taking dyes in the way I was used to, and I just wasn't really happy with the way things were turning out. I basically couldn't speckle on it, which is a lot of what I do. All right, the variegated colorways that I was doing were getting very muddied. And so while it was a beautiful base, and I still have some that I've kept in my stash for personal use because it is gorgeous, I really, really love it. It wasn't a product I was happy with releasing into the world for the vast majority of colorways that I had on it, or I tried to dye up on it. There are a lot of oops. So that was why I moved away from the non-superwash. And then the third one I had, which was my Chaussette DK base, my previously most recent DK weight base. It was 75% superwash wool and 25% nylon, so it had a pretty hefty nylon count, which is why I would call it, you know, my DK sock basically. It's a great base for projects that are going to need a lot of wear and tear, right? Because it's superwash, because it has that heavy nylon percentage to it, it can take a beating. It is a yarn that can absolutely take a beating. It is a very useful sort of base, very utilitarian, but didn't have a great hand to it, right? It wasn't the softest base in the world. It softens up after you wash it, to be sure, as most yarns do, but I wanted to keep looking. I knew I could do better, right? Again, I've got a couple skeins of it in my stash. I've knit personal things with it. So the hunt continued. And I was thinking I wanted to stick with merino. Everything else that I carry is merino. But I couldn't find a supplier with 100% DK or merino DK weight that I felt comfortable working with, right? Who had great ethical practices that really worked closely with their farms, with their ranches, and who I could also consistently get the yarn from, right? The suppliers that I found that have a base that I like, that have used practices that I like, it's kind of hit or miss whether or not I can get that base, right? Whether it's in stock or not. So I decided to expand my search, and I tried out this BFL DK base, expecting I wasn't going to be in love with it. I was expecting it to have more of a Polworth type hand, so a little bit rougher, but I was beyond pleasantly surprised. This base it's next to skin soft, right? I could absolutely wear a sweater with this, right? Or a cowl or something like that in this base, which really, again, surprised me. The only time I've knit with BFL in the past, it's been a little bit rougher, a little coarser. So I don't know if it's a combination of the way I treat the yarn plus the way it's treated by the manufacturer, the wholesaler, or what, but it is super soft. And the really cool thing about it is it's got a natural luster to it, which you probably can't tell from here, but it's got just the slightest shine to it, which is really kind of cool. And I am knitting up a sample in this base, right, which is long and crazy. Right now it's just garter stripes. This is the Rambler pattern by Andrea Mowry, so I'm getting close to the brioche section. I figured if I want a sample, I wanted something spectacular, so I did a giant brioche and garter shawl. And the two colorways I'm using are This is Clear Skies. It's a new tonal, right? It's a nice sort of medium to dark blue. Really love it. Kind of thinking of the deep, dark, rich blue skies of the middle of summer. Right. It's a tonal. You can see there are light areas in there too. It's really cool. I love the dimension that that adds to any hand knit product. And then Sunset on the Sun. I love this colorway. And so, yeah, it is beautiful. It is drapey, which is one of the fun characteristics of BFL compared to merino. It's a lot drapier than merino is. And it is just incredibly soft. Right? Love the stitch definition. All right, it's just great. I'm amazed by this base. I really, really love it. So I bought a little bit just to try out, dye up some for myself, try it out, see if I like it or not, and immediately put in a giant wholesale order for it, right? This is what is here to stay. So again, keeping the base names easy to remember, this is my BFL DK weight base, right? BFL DK. So again, there are so many amazing patterns on Ravelry for DK weight. That is part of why I picked a DK over an Aran weight or worsted weight. Just again, consistency and being able to get it from my supplier. And where are the patterns, right? Most of the sort of big name patterns that are coming out these days are in fingering weight and DK weight, right? So I figure I should be supplying those kinds of yarns. So there we are. 2 new bases. Super excited about all of them. Quick knits, perfect for summer knitting, amazingly enough, though they won't get worn for a while. But yeah, start thinking about your holiday gift knitting, because these things will knit up very quickly. Thanks. See you guys soon.